So yesterday we started discussing the Gaussian distribution. So this is the probability density function for Gaussian distribution. Then I asked you to find out the cumulative distribution function f of x for the Gaussian distribution. So anybody got the answer? What is the answer? Anybody tried? So what you have to do to find out the cumulative distribution function?
Integration from
Minus infinity to x. So if you substitute this one, right? This integral you have to do. Yes or no? Yeah. So what will be this integral equal to? Can you do it analytically? Can you do this integral analytically?
No, sir.
So analytically the answer is not possible. So you have to do this numerically. So for that, because there is something called an error function, okay. So that is defined as zero to x dt e power minus t square with 2 by root 2 pi. Okay. So this is called error function. So the integral of 0 to integral of e power minus t square from 0 to x with a constant 2 by root pi. Okay. You know certain limits of this. What will be the error function of infinity? What will be error function infinity equal to?
Sir, root pi by 2.
Root pi by 2. Error function is 2 by root pi into this. Okay.
Means I'm telling the integration that more integration will come. If you multiply it by 2 by root pi, then it will come as
1. What will be error function of 0? 0.
0.
And error function of minus infinity?
Minus 1.
Minus 1. What about error function of minus x? Is it equal to error function of x or error function something else? Error function of minus x, suppose you substitute minus x here, but you get 0 to minus x dt e power minus t square. What is that equal to? In terms of error, minus error function of so. Yeah. So it increases to plus 1 when x tends to infinity, okay, at x is equal to 0, it is 0, then x tends to minus infinity, it is going to minus 1. Okay. If anybody, I think already you are done, all of you, I think all of you, including BTech and PhD students, all of you have done some numerical courses, right? You can actually do this integration, okay, numerically, and try to get the result. You plot versus x. Anybody know this Simpson's rule for integration? Okay, I think PhD students may be knowing that. What about the BTech students? Do you know the Simpson's rule or some algorithm for integration?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Your C++ course, it was not given? You did not study that? You had a C++ course, right?
Sir, but we didn't study this.
You didn't study that, okay. Anyway, so if anybody is interested, very good at numerics or programming, can just look at the Simpson's rule and do this integration and plot error function x versus x. Okay, so you know that error function of x is this quantity. Then if you look at this, okay, so you can clearly see that this you can write it in terms of error function, right? Because error function is 0 to x, so minus infinity to x, I can split it into minus infinity to 0, okay, plus 0 to x dx prime, whatever the integral. So minus infinity to 0, that integral will you be able to finish, do the thing, minus infinity to 0? What will be the minus infinity to 0 of this integral? What will be that equal to?
1 by 2.
1 by 2.
Yes.
Okay, that will be 1 by 2, right? So other one will be in terms of the error function. So obviously this will be equal to 1 by 2, 1 plus, okay. So this one, using this, you derive it, okay. So I am giving this as an exercise. This will be equal to x minus mu divided by 2 sigma square, okay, root 2 sigma square. So show that this is equal to this. Obviously you know that if x is equal to 0, so you are supposed to get minus infinity to 0 only. So is this correct? Yeah. Yes, when x is equal to 0, 0 to 0 integral will be 0. So show that this is equal to this, okay, using the error function. So what will be the integral of or average of x minus mu power 2l plus 1? What will be this equal to? Where L is equal to 0, 1, 2, etc. What is this equal to? By definition, this is equal to 1 by, for this particular example, okay, 2 pi sigma square dx minus infinity to infinity e power minus x minus mu whole square divided by 2 sigma square x minus mu power 2l plus 1. What is this quantity equal to?
You can represent it as gamma function. So 0.
It is 0. Is anybody is having a confusion regarding this? Why it is not? Why it is 0?
It's an odd function. So
Yeah, if L is equal to 0, because this x minus mu is symmetric about x is equal to this, the distribution is symmetric about x is equal to mu, right? And x minus mu also symmetric about x is equal to mu. Symmetric in the sense that one is even, odd, and other one is even about x is equal to mu. So obviously when you integrate from minus infinity to infinity, because it is only 2l plus 1, so this quantity will be always odd for L is equal to 0, 1, 2. So this is odd and this is even with respect to x is equal to mu. So this will be 0. Now if I ask you a question, what about this? Okay, x minus mu power 2l, so L is equal to 0, 1, 2. This, so basically what you shown that when you said this is equal to 0, this basically means that all odd central moments. So this is a central moment, right? So this is a central moment. So all odd central moments goes to 0 for a Gaussian distribution. Okay. So now what about this? Can you do this integration? What do you do for this? Already you had, I have already given a formula for gamma function, right? So the gamma function, what was the gamma function I have given you, the formula? Anybody remembers that? Integral minus infinity to infinity dx x power n exponential
minus ax square
is equal to
gamma n plus 1 by 2
gamma n plus 1 by 2
a to the power
a to the power
minus n plus 1 by 2.
minus n plus 1 by 2. Is it correct? Half is?
Sir, it was for the formula you had given was for 0 to infinity, sir.
0 to infinity, okay. Now it is fine, right? Yeah, somebody is saying that you are. Can you repeat?
Half into gamma n plus 1 by 2.
Oh, there is an half here. Can you just fix that?
Sir.
Otherwise, I have to look at the formula.
So this is correct.
This is correct, right? Yeah. So earlier one was also correct. Minus infinity to infinity, there is without an half. 0 to infinity with half. So this is half n plus 1 or n plus half. Which is correct? Half
N plus 1
N plus
by
1.
2.
divided by 2, right? Yes. So I think that is also a problem. So this is I think now it is correct, right? Okay. So now what will be the even moment, central moments of Gaussian distribution in terms of gamma function? I think you should be giving me the answer quickly because this you know now. Okay. So what will be the answer? Just take 2 minutes and give me the answer. So tell me the answer.
Gamma of 2n plus 1 by 2 equal to 2 sigma square
2 sigma square
whole to the power of 2n, sir. The whole to the power.
this way.
Sir, 2 sigma square whole to the power 2n.
I think it would be 2 sigma square to the power L, sir.
Okay.
2 sigma square to the power L.
Whoever said 2L, please check the calculation because this is n plus 1 divided by 2. So your n is 2L. So 2L divided by 2 you will get L only. Okay. So all of you are getting this, right? So what will be this one? So you do you know the formula for gamma n plus half? Do you know the formula for gamma n plus half?
1 factorial divided
N factorial divided by
2 factorial, 2n factorial divided by
hmm,
3 raised to 2n,
2 raised to 2n
2n factorial, and then numerator root 5 in numerator.
numerator. Okay. Yeah, so that is root pi 2n factorial 2 power 2n into n factorial. So suppose you substitute this one there. So this you can write it as gamma L plus half. So what you get?
The 2n factorial divided by 2 raised to 2n
Divided by
2 raised to 12
hmm,
the factorial into 2 sigma square.
2 sigma. Are you sure about this?
Sigma square all raised to n.
So sigma power 2n. Yes?
Sir, and in the denominator, there should be 2 to the power L only.
You are saying the numerator 2 to the power.
That will be 2L.
There is a 2 to the power 2l in the numerator, so it will be only 2 power l. Yes?
Yes.
So 2l factorial divided by 2 to the power l, l factorial into sigma power 2l. Okay? Fine. So now can you give me the variance from this? What will be the variance? Variance you can get when you set L is equal to, from this expression, when can you get the variance? If you set L is equal to 1. So what is that equal to? From this? Put L is equal to 1. What do you get here? Sigma square. So this sigma square here, this sigma is basically the standard deviation, sigma square is the variance. Okay? So that is the way it has been written. Now, what about the K4, the fourth cumulant? Okay, so what is x minus mu power 4? From that, what you get? X minus mu power 4. Basically, you have to put L is equal to 2. So if you put L is equal to 2, what you get here?
So 3 sigma raised to 6.
3 sigma into 6 into 6. 3 sigma power 4. So from the earlier you had a formula for the fourth cumulant, no? So fourth cumulant, what I have written yesterday, if you look at your notebook, it is delta x power 4 average minus 3 delta x square average square, right? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what you get K4 then? Delta x power 4 is 3 sigma power 4. Delta square average is sigma square. So this is delta x, huh? This is delta x. Sigma square. So 3 sigma power 4. What do you get? 0. So fourth cumulant is actually 0 for the Gaussian distribution. So I give you an exercise to all of you. Find out m of u for the Gaussian distribution. Okay? I'll give you 2 minutes. Find out moment generating function for the Gaussian distribution. So what you should do to find out that? Yeah, moment generating function, which is root 2 pi sigma square integral dx p of x e power minus x minus mu whole square divided by 2 sigma square So m of u basically e power ux. Right? Is it possible to do this integration?
What is the limit of integration?
See, the random variable we are looking at is the Gaussian distribution with the sample space from minus infinity to infinity. So Gaussian distribution, the limit is from minus infinity to infinity. Is it possible to do this integration? Getting a,
Yes, sir.
what you do?
Sir, we had the form for square minus x square plus ax.
Yeah, so you convert this into a full square, right? Means x plus something all square. That integration is basically again a Gaussian integration. You can do this, okay? So I just give you the result. So this is equal to exponential. So all of you do that, okay? Because you have to make it a complete square and do the integration. So this is equal to exponential of mu u plus half
sigma square u square.
So this is the moment generating function for the Gaussian distribution. So if this is the case, what will be K3, K4? K4 already you know 0, okay? K5, etc. If m of u is this, what will be K3, K4, K5, etc.? Why?
So it would be a second order polynomial, the ku would be.
So you have to find out the cumulant generating function. So it is kappa 3, 4, 5. Okay. So these are the cumulants. Okay. So k of u will be logarithm of this. So if you take a logarithm of this, you get just mu u plus half sigma square u square. Okay. So if you do that, this is basically quadratic in u. So for K3, you have to take the third derivative, right, with respect to k of u. So third derivative will be 0. So everything above second cumulant will be 0. That is one of the important properties of the Gaussian distribution. All cumulants above the second cumulant is 0, identically equal to 0. Suppose your Gaussian distribution is centered about the origin, so that time it is 2 pi sigma square exponential minus a square divided by 2 sigma square. So usually this is denoted as n, normal distribution, so it's also called normal distribution, okay, and the first one you denote using the mean, and second variable you denote using the variance, okay, or standard deviation, does not matter, okay. So when I say n 0, that means the mean is 0. So this is n 0 sigma square. So if you plot that, you get like this. So what will be the full width at half maximum for this? What will be full width at half maximum? How do you calculate that?
We find the point where the maximum is there, and then we take we find its value, and then for half its value we solve.
Okay, suppose you take sigma is equal to 1. Okay, so in that case this is 1. So what is at x is equal to 0, what you get? This point is 1 by root 2 pi, right? And so what will be the half of that? 1 by 2 of this, right? So full width at half maximum. So when this will become 1 by root 2 pi? 1 by 2 root 2 pi. When this function will become 1 by 2 root 2 pi? Yeah? So when will this x will be equal to? Plus or minus? Root of? Okay. So the width will be, what will be the width then?
2 times under root 2 ln.
2 times, so full width at half maximum will be equal to 2 ln2. Suppose there is a sigma square, where will that appear? Suppose sigma square, so we have taken sigma square equal to 1. Suppose there is any general sigma square, where will that appear? There will be 2 sigma square here, right? Then there will be a root sigma square, the square root sigma will appear here. So it will be there in the square root, it will be there. It will be there in the right hand side, right? So if it is a large variance, the width will be larger or smaller. Suppose sigma is more than 1, sigma is large. When you increase sigma, whether this width will increase or decrease? When you increase sigma, the width will increase. Obviously, what is the sigma? Sigma is basically x minus mu square average, right? So this is larger, basically means each value you take and subtract the mean. So in this case mean is 0, okay? So mean is 0, so it is basically a square average. For this particular example where mean is equal to 0, the variance is just nothing but x square, okay, average. So if this is large means each of these values should contribute, okay. So this should be more fatter, and here this will be leaner, or the width is less, right? So when you increase x square, the width will become larger, okay. So it will become shorter, the height will keep on increasing, obviously. So 1 by root 2 pi sigma square. So 1 by root 2 pi sigma square, if sigma is large, so this will be the height. So if sigma is large, the height will decrease. So the width will increase. Okay. So this quantity is called excess of kurtosis. Okay, that means K4 divided by K2 square or kappa 4 divided by kappa 2 square. It is called a excess of kurtosis. You will understand this soon. For Gaussian distribution, what this will be equal to? 0. Okay. So for the Gaussian distribution, this will be equal to 0. Suppose there is a distribution, this quantity is greater than 0. What you can understand from that? What you can say about that distribution compared to Gaussian distribution? Suppose there is a distribution, this quantity is greater than 0. Can this quantity can be less than 0? Yes or no? Can this quantity for any distribution can be less than 0? Okay, I will give you 2 minutes. You just think about that. Okay, whether this quantity can be less than 0 for some distribution.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, if the ln of mu is the biquadratic with a minus sign, then I think it can be negative.
It can be negative. So, see, you look at the definition of K4. What is the definition of K4? Right? 3. So K4 by definition or kappa 4 by definition is the delta x power 4, that is central moment, fourth central moment minus 3 second central moment square. Obviously this can be more than this certain cases, right? It is possible. So this quantity can be larger than this quantity. That is possible. So K4 can be negative. There is no question about that. Okay. So in the case of Gaussian distribution, this is exactly 0. Now think about a situation, this quantity. So this is basically to take the normalize the thing. Okay. So suppose this quantity is greater than 0. What you can talk about that particular distribution? Suppose this quantity is greater than 0. Because this quantity is this, okay. That means this will be dominating over this one, right? This will be larger than this one. If this is larger than this one, basically that means when you are doing this quantity, this is larger. That means the large values of x should contribute into this fourth cumulant. That means your distribution will be linear, right? Yeah, because it will be linear and the tail should be fatter, right? Because this point should contribute more and this point around the average should contribute less. So compared to the Gaussian distribution, it will be linear than if it is this excess of kurtosis is greater than 0, it will be linear than the Gaussian distribution near the center, the average, and fatter at the tail parts. Okay. Suppose it is less than 0, then this will contribute more than this. So obviously it should be broader at the mean, at the around the average, and at the tail points what should happen? It will be narrower, right? So instead of a fatter, it should be narrower at the tail end. Okay. So that way there is some understanding about the distribution you can make, okay, compared to the Gaussian distribution, because Gaussian distribution this cumulant is exactly 0. So if the greater than 0, less than 0, it will be broader at around the mean, that distribution. If it is greater than 0, it will be linear at the around the average. Okay. So anyway, so rest of the thing we will discuss in the next class. BTech students, have you started learning the Fourier transform from your other classes?
We are doing the Fourier series, sir.
You are doing the Fourier series.
Started.
Okay. Anyway, so there is an integral I can tell you that, because something I want to talk here in terms of the Fourier transform and convolution you must have learned, right? Yes or no? Convolution?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Anyway, something I will give you teach next class. Okay, so that we can discuss more in the distributions. Okay, I'll stop the class now.